Welcome. 239 Uncensored Everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we have a great guest on this podcast. This is going to be awesome. We're actually going to do video and podcast, but we have the legendary now, Sara Brand. She is a local real estate professional with me. When I say me, she doesn't work for my brokerage, but we're glad to have you. You work for
Marzuka Real Estate.
Yeah, Marzuka Real Estate. So they're great group of people over there. I know they do a lot of cool things. And welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
Did you check it out? Did you get a chance to walk through? What do you think of the place? Is it kind of cool?
I loved it. It was really nice. I love the layout.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And I'm not an interior designer, but I kind of like the black and red. It's kind of like, I don't know.
I like it a lot.
It kind of makes me like feel a little bit more manly when I have that, those colors. So it's good.
They're a good color. They go well together. I like it.
Good color. Well, first off, welcome. And it's really cool to have you on this podcast because truly I laugh about it a little bit. We kind of joke about it, but you just won a couple really cool awards. One with NABOR, Naples Area Board of Realtors, which I am involved in. Mm-hmm. And you got Newcomer of the Year with NABOR.
With Florida Realtors.
With Florida Real. But what was the one with NABOR? Was that Newcomer of the Year as well, or is it two separate things?
So they're basically the same thing, but they have different names. So It's Rising Star.
Okay, all right.
For NABOR, and then Newcomer of the Year for Florida.
Okay, yes. Gotcha. So we got that squared away. So Rising Star for NABOR, yes, and Newcomer of the Year for Florida. Mm-hmm. So there's over 200,000 real estate professionals or realtors for Florida, and you won it.
Yeah, it was overwhelming.
Yeah, but that's like really cool.
It was really cool. So they have like all these little things that they say, and I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so cool. Like that person like is really doing it. And then they say my name. I lose my shit.
You're like, oh damn, it's me.
I'm like, oh my God, that's me. And I'm like crying, and the whole board is there, and it was great.
Yeah, so let's run back. So just last week, I believe they had the big convention up in Orlando.
Correct.
Right. And during that convention, they bring everybody together at some points throughout the convention. And how did you, from my understanding, it was a big secret. You didn't know.
Yeah.
So, and you explain it again. So they told you, how did that work when they surprised you about it? And you're in front of a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
It's huge. That convention.
So it was funny because before we went up to the convention, my leadership chair was like, hey, I have an extra ticket for the awards. I'm winning an award. And I'm like, okay, great. I'll be there because I'm super excited for him. So they get me in there. I'm like in one of the first tables, and I'm like, okay, like I'm excited for him, whatever. Then they start talking about the person, like I said. And I'm like, okay, great. And then boom, I hear my name, and I'm like, oh my God. Like I did not think I was going to win this one because I mean, there's 210,000 agents, right? And I was just like, holy shit. Holy shit. That's all I could think about. I was like, holy shit. Like I'm like in front of all these people. So I go up there, and you're supposed to return the same way you go up. No, I went all the way to the other side of the stage, and then I had to walk all the way back. And I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Did they give you a chance to say anything, or was like,
no,
get the thing and go? I'd like to thank, who else? And what was cool about it is PJ Smith, which I love. She's awesome. I saw a picture on Facebook, and I was like, oh my God, I know both of them. That's awesome. And then I said, I've got to get Sara on to see if she'll come on the podcast, because that's like a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool. That's exciting. Winning it for NABOR, I think we have about 6,000.
7,000.
Oh, okay. She's got the numbers down.
I do.
About 7,000 members, right, in the membership. And to get it, Rising Star at NABOR, that's really cool. Got that squared away, what it is. And then to get it there is huge. And because I think I'm a rising star, I'm a lot older than you, but I think I'm a rising star. But I was at that awards. That was awesome. So proud of you on that. Yeah. And then to go to Orlando and get it for the state of Florida. Wow. And I think we're the biggest association. Florida is like the biggest one in the country.
Yes,
in the United States.
We recently beat California.
Yeah. Much better in California.
We are way better. But yeah, it was, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, wait, Sara Brand? Okay. Yeah. So it's been great. And like all the board members are like, oh my God, we're so proud of you. And I'm like, no pressure whatsoever.
None whatsoever. And you even made it onto like Studio, or 239 Uncensored Studio 239's podcast, right? I mean, wow, how big is that?
I'm like, I got your message and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, sure.
No, that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. And it's great. We're glad that, you get to take a look around and, check out the studio. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how did you even get into real estate with, you're very young, which is great. It's a tough thing to get into, especially when you're younger, right? Mm-hmm. How did you get into it in real estate?
So I actually went to school to be a chef.
Wow.
Yeah. And I went to school in Rhode Island and my mom hated the whole idea. She's like, oh, why do you need to go to, culinary school, whatever. And then she became a realtor. And she absolutely kills it. And she's like, you need to become a realtor. Like, your whole entire life, you've been good with sales. As a little girl, when we first moved to, say, the United States, she would, like have like little things for me to do. And I was really good with words. I've been good with sales. So my mom's like, join real estate. And I'm like, no, that's not for me. Like, I really love like art and like cooking and whatever.
Express yourself a little bit.
Yeah. And my mom's like, no, real estate is for you. So after 6 months of going back and forth with her that I wasn't going to do it, I ended up doing it and I ended up loving it.
Okay.
And yeah, she kind of took me under her wing and she showed me how she does it, which is, she doesn't pay for leads. She doesn't do this or that. She's like, just network, meet people, serve your community. And that's it.
Yeah. And I think that's a big thing. And I tell the young people, and I teach real estate classes here, Florida Pro Real Estate Academy. We got a class going right now. We'll probably have another one in November. Not plugging or anything on my own podcast, but it's a good class. We do Zoom and in class, but we have a lot of younger folks that come in and they have high expectations. They're like, they feel that once they get the license, that people are going to come to them. Everybody's going to just knock on your window in your car and say, I need a house. It doesn't work that way. But really, it's not that hard if you network, let people know, don't be shy, tell everybody you sell real estate and pick up the phone when it rings. Am I right? Is it just if you do that, you're going to be well off. You're going to be ahead of 90% of the other people.
Absolutely. I mean, I had an advantage where like I didn't have to have a job when I first moved back to Naples. So my mom just kind of like mentored me and I just like, did whatever she told me to do. But all I do is network. I go and meet people. I hand out my card. I'm not shy to give my card. And even if they go, hey, like, I'm not really interested, I'm like, just save it. Even if you throw away later, I don't care. Just save it.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have 3 agents that are your best friends. I can be your best friend too.
Today, no, but that's how you got to do it. You can't look into. My feeling is you can't look into every contact you make is going to be the only reason why I'm talking to you is because of money. It's more than that.
Right.
And you obviously to get where you're at, Rising Star NABOR, you've got to get involved. You got to get involved with the board to a certain extent. You got to get involved with the community, go to those things, have fun doing it. And, cause you get that whole thing of like, everybody in Naples is a realtor or whatever,
Yeah. But then like they're realtors, but like, what are they doing?
Yeah. No, I get it.
So what I did is I'm super involved with the board. I'm in YP, Young Professionals. I'm in RPAC. I'm part of their leadership academy right now. I'm also involved with Valerie's House, which is a grievance center.
Awesome. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
I volunteer at my church. Like I just do a lot of things for the community just because the more you give, the more you get. And it's not even that about getting it. It's good to give back to your community.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that's good because ultimately, like you said, it's not really about getting back, but I think that my experiences, and I was in law enforcement for 31 years and I've been a broker for 6 and been in real estate for 21 plus. I enjoy actually helping people that need me the less, so in other words, if somebody comes to me and says, I need a condo for, my budget's like 150 to 175. I get more excited about that than someone calls me and says, I want to sell my house for 1.1. You know, because the result at the end is somebody who is very happy and they're very appreciated.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's not necessarily about the money. It's the feeling you get when you close and somebody's like, thank you so much for the help. This really helps me. I'm actually helping a lady now. She sold her place. We listed it, sold it really quick. And now she's scrambling to find something. Super lady. And it feels good. It's not a huge bunch of money. It's more about just helping. You know? It really is. Because I think if you go into it for the money, it's number one, it's not going to work for you. You're in the wrong thing. You know, the money will come. Yeah.
If you chase money, you're never going to catch it.
No, it's true.
You just kind of have to, like, you know, be there and help out.
So what would you say? Well, give me some guidance for somebody that's younger coming into this career field as a real estate agent. I mean, they take the class. Should they automatically just quit their job and, you know?
Oh my God, no.
Give us a little advice.
So I think you should at least have a job for 6 months, you know, have your savings, but get involved with the board just because you get to learn so much. Do all the classes you can. Make sure you have a really good brokerage. They're all going to tell you when you first, you know, join. Oh my God, we're going to give you all the leads. No one's giving you a lead.
Right.
No one's going to give you a lead.
Yeah. You feel like a rock star, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody wants you.
Yeah. Everyone's like, oh my God, come and interview. No one's going to give you a lead. But network, go out, you know, like Naples is really small. Go down to Fifth, sit down, have one drink, you know, pass out your cards, get rid of all your cards. And then that's it. That's all I can really take.
No, and I think that's great. The goal is take 50 cards with you and get rid of every one of them by the end of the night.
Correct.
To the right people.
Yes.
Like, be careful, because I do the realtor safety class too. So, but yeah, no, that's like huge. That's like huge, given that information. And like you said, the brokerage is going to try to help you. I mean, here at Florida Pro, we try to help you get going and get some leads for you, and we'll help you. I'll stay up in all hours of the night helping you with the contracts and things like that. But ultimately, if you expect them to be delivered to you and you're making $200,000 the first year, it's probably not going to be happening that quick. But it's very attainable if you hustle, give cards out, let people know that you're a real estate.
Tell all your contacts on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere and anywhere you can really. And like just get hooked with the right brokerage.
Yeah, no, that's important. That's important. So you're successful. Okay. What, you know, we kind of explained a little bit, but what takes you to the next level in this business? I mean, like you said, being involved without maybe having to repeat some of it. What you personally, how did you get to the level where you're a rising star at NABOR and you're the newcomer of the year at the Florida level?
I work with anyone and everyone. I don't discriminate because of their budget. And if they can't buy, well, we're going to figure out a rental. And I'm very persistent. I pick up the phone at 11 o'clock. I really have had clients call me at 11 o'clock. I will work whenever, at any time, whatever my clients need. And I think that's what has made me who I am.
Right.
Being available to them.
And let me just add on to that. When your friends go to the beach on a Saturday and you know you've got like 3 showings that day, what do you usually sometimes choose to do?
Well, it depends how early we're going to go to the beach. Because if we're going to go in the morning and I have showings in the afternoon, I'm going to go to the beach. But I mean, in all reality, I have to choose my job over hanging out with my friends sometimes.
For the most part, right? So the good benefit, and I always look at it this way, and you know, I'm okay. I do good, but the money's nice. But ultimately, you have committed to that person that you're going to show them houses, you're going to take them around. So when they call you, I mean, yeah, we can work around some schedules, and I'm not saying real estate all the time, but you're going to have to give up some of your weekends.
Yeah, absolutely.
For your success.
I mean, not just some of your weekends. Like I was just at the convention and I was there for a whole week. And I mean, you sometimes have to give a lot of time up, but it's worth it at the end.
Yeah. You get a lot of good connections and a lot of people.
Yeah.
What do you think some of the traits to being a solid, good professional real estate person are?
Honest.
Honesty is a big one.
Big one. Loyal. Because although buyers aren't always loyal, you have to be loyal to them.
Yeah.
And I think consistency. Consistency is a big one. You have to be consistent to them. And just like be ready to give them a lending hand.
Right. Everything you mentioned is perfect. It's spot on. I feel the same thing, because you have to be, number one, you have to be upfront with them.
Yeah.
A big thing is when somebody wants you to come over and they want you to list their house, right?
Right.
Most people are like, well, my house is worth this. And you have to kind of have those long discussions with them. And the current market, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. It's things have kind of changed, right? So,
right.
Hey, you might be right. Your house might be worth that much, but those discussions up front are very important, I think, and
yes.
being honest and having that loyalty to call back and make sure that you're talking to them on the same level.
Yeah.
Some people, once you've been in the business for a little while, you feel like you know the business fairly well, but you kind of forget that they don't know like some of the terminology that we have. So you kind of like go right over it.
Right.
And, so it's those traits they're unbelievable and dependable, right?
Yeah. You have to be very dependable. I mean, they're doing one of the biggest purchases or sales of their lives with you. Yeah. So yeah, you have to be very dependable. Yeah. They should. Yeah.
Yeah. So if someone says we're going to be there at 3, you roll in at 3:15, at least make a phone call. Those are some things that people look at the first time you deal with them. And if you don't get those right the first time, then people are going to slowly just go off to find somebody that will help them a different way. So that's important, but those traits going above and beyond and doing the little extra things, I think are very important.
Yes.
Because it's not always fun. And some of the phone calls we have to make aren't always fun. And you just have to kind of be real with them.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, sometimes you kind of have to burst their bubble. Like,
yeah,
hey, listen, you're not gonna want to get this house when you only make so and so money. Like, you're gonna lose your house.
Yeah, yeah. If you're in budgets, are a funny thing too, right? Because you're like, okay, so go get your pre-approval. Let me know how much you can spend. That helps. And I will. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll show a couple houses. I'm not one of those people like, you gotta get that, because some people won't even let you talk to them unless they have it, right? Probably good business. You don't want to waste time. However, I usually let people, we go look at a couple places, then we start discussing, hey, I need that because we're gonna make an offer. We're gonna have it, right?
Right.
That pre-approval, pre-qualification, we gotta have it. So if they can afford a house that's $250 and we're trying to put in a criteria and they're showing you, they send you this snapshot of a Zillow or something that it kills you at $350. You're like, all right, let's bring it back down to what we can afford, because a lot of times HOAs are attached. There's a lot of other fees and things like that.
Yeah. And they just sometimes don't get it. And they get mad. They're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, no, you really need to stick to your budget. Like, your pre-approval is for this amount and that's it.
Yeah. Because you're going to go through all that work and you're not going to, financing's not going to go through. So let's talk a little bit about Naples right now. Naples in the Southwest Florida market. Just give me a little rundown. What's it like out there? I mean, I kind of know, but our listeners don't always know exactly what's going on. It's crazy.
It's a crazy market. It's literally a circus out there right now. I mean, we don't have enough inventory. Everyone wants to move here. I mean, I don't per se like Southwest Florida, but I think everyone just wants to move down to Florida. So we're busy. We're busy right now.
So when you say busy now, somebody calls you, what's like the fastest you've listed a house and it went under contract?
1 day.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had like a couple like that just recently. Yeah. I listed one in Estero. I put it on the MLS at 8:00. I had a guy call me at 9. I show it to him at 9:30. Took me that half an hour to get there. Right. Under contract at 11:00.
I believe you.
And it was full price. And that was like, yes. And it was cool because I listed it. He didn't have anybody, a realtor.
Double dip.
It was great. So it was good.
That is awesome.
But that's what it is right now. And it's definitely a seller's market.
Definitely a seller's market. I think we might get a little bit of like a shift here in the market. I can't promise that because, like the market just, when COVID hit, I thought it was going to be doomed. Yeah. And then it turns out to be like the best market ever. But I kind of feel like we're going to have a shift here with the moratorium being lifted and, sadly evictions coming.
Right.
So we might get a little bit.
Right. Little shift. I don't know if that was some conversation, I'm sure, up at the conference, people talking about that.
Yeah, I did hear here and there.
And the thing is, I think we normally average about 65 to 7,000 homes on the MLS that are available at any given time. And I think we're right now looking at like 1,100.
Yeah.
I saw it was under 1,000. So for those you don't know, why we say it's a seller's market is basically a seller's market is nothing more than you have no houses, so there's no inventory. So it's supply demand. When the supply is low, demand is high, you can get more money for your house. And then on the other side is if you have a huge supply and you have a lot of houses for sale, the price goes down, which makes it a buyer's market.
Yeah.
So so right now I've run into a lot of people, good friends of mine, that have sold their house for top dollar. And they're calling me looking for places to stay. They're like, hey, where am I going? I'm like, I don't know. You run into that situation?
I have. And it's like, but did you not think about, maybe buying a house while you were selling? Because it makes no sense. Like, where are you going to move now? Like, there's nothing.
Well, and the thing about it is, too, is you're getting a huge amount of money for your house, right? You're getting a nice chunk. But the house you're going to buy is probably popped up some.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like a wash, really. The only really way you could probably benefit hugely is if you sold your house. You sold your house that was $500,000 last year for $850 this year, and you put that money in the bank and you maybe rented for a while until things balance out. But then you can't find a place to rent.
Right. Or like if you moved into like a condo, but that's downsizing a lot.
Yeah, and then that condo's up a little bit more than maybe it should be too, but you're right.
Not that much. Though.
Yeah, 10, 20 grand higher. Or you move to like, I can't even say Montana because it's crazy out there. Some place where, it's very
New York,
reasonable.
Where everyone's
New York.
leaving.
Yeah, New York. Everybody's leaving out of that place. So what do you foresee? Like you already talked a little bit about the future. What's going to happen, 2 years from now? Let's crystal ball for you.
Oh man. So I'm finishing up school right now. So I'm in policy and law.
Woo.
And in 2 years, I'll probably have my own team. In 2 years and just keep growing with Marzuko.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Good bunch of people over there as well. And, I think the market is probably going to have some sort of balancing out shift at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
To kind of keep it the way it's going now, it might be, a little bit hard. It's hard for us. A lot of people don't understand it. They think it's great for real estate folks, but I will tell you, when you put a house on the market and your phone just starts going crazy, right? So you list the house, phone starts going crazy.
Immediately.
All these offers are coming in. You've got your buyer now who's like wondering, or you got your seller now that's wondering, did I put the right number on it? Yes, you put the right number on it. It's just that there's a lot of people that want your house.
Right.
It's not because it was so low. It's just because everybody wants your house. And that price is probably a little bit over than what it normally would be, right? But it's stressful.
Yeah, especially if you're waiting for an appraisal and you're like, oh wait, like maybe this is a little too high. Are we gonna pass? So yeah, it's stressful.
Yeah, no, and then all these people are trying to butter talk you, sweet talk you, and say, oh, my buyer's great. As soon as that contract goes under contract, you all of a sudden see the other side of that.
Oh yeah,
of that agent. I found that out. I'm like, this is a sweet lady I was just talking to 20 minutes ago. Now we're under contract. This is the one who's demanding everything in the first day. I'm like, all right, let's just relax. Let's not get too wound up. So I think the biggest thing, and you'll probably agree, is just staying calm.
Yeah. Calm. Just have patience.
Calm, patience, and listen to people, I think is a good,
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the big things. But but anything else to add? So what's the young professionals group? You guys have some stuff locally, statewide, or how does that work?
So
that's really cool.
I'm part of the committee at the board.
Okay.
We do have a state committee.
Am I too old for that?
Can I play the fiddle on this one? So we are up to 41. We're up to 40. So our limit is 40 years old.
Right. I missed it by a couple days.
Okay, by a couple of days. We do have like over 1,000 agents that are in that,
Awesome.
age range. But, a lot of people don't know about it. They're not involved with the board. But if anyone's ever interested, it's a great place to grow. And then I'm involved with RPAC, which is the Realtor Political Association.
Right.
And they're great too. I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to have stayed working throughout the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are two great committees that I'm in.
Yeah. Basically, they're our voice
Yeah.
that for they push laws. They keep, their thumb on the rules and laws and make sure that we're protected.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing to have. And I think PJ is on those. I think she's involved heavily with all that. PJ
Yes,
Smith.
she is.
She's awesome. I love
She
her.
really is.
She's the best. So I think the big thing, and you kind of narrowed it down, is just be involved. If you're going to get in real estate, don't just get your license, hang it somewhere, and just forget it. You can't do that, and then expect to be successful. There's a lot more to it than just getting your license and then everything coming your way.
Right. And then the connections you just make, who would you rather work with? Someone and you've worked with in committees and whatnot, or someone that you're just like, who is this person? Sending me a contract,
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and it's funny too, because actually once you start selling real estate, you see the same names over and over.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many people I've worked with multiple times, and then somebody that I've never heard of out of 7,000 people. Right. But seems like there's about 300 or 400 that you see the names over and over. It's kind of like, and I think that the numbers as far as the percentage of people that actually sold more than one or two houses on the board is only about, like, I think it's like 9, 10, 11% sold.
I'm not 100% sure, but I know that it's a low number.
Yeah, it's a low number.
Really
So
low number.
You'll see them again. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for
239
having me.
Uncensored. Please, share it. Awesome future.
Thank you.
Good things going for you now. We wish you the best. We get a little high five over here, but definitely wish you the best. Anything that we can do for you here, we'd love to have you. Give us information. Come by the school. Have people send people this way. We'll take care of them. And looking forward to working with you on a lot of transactions in the future, or my agents, because I'm trying to just kind of be the broker, because it's getting a little bit crazy.
It's hectic.
I just I'm retired, but this is like more crazy than it's ever been. But anyway, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, 239 Uncensored, everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And normally what we do when we leave, we say we're out. So 239 Uncensored, everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we are
out.
Out.